next speaker is Mr. Doron Noyman, the director of Keypoint Credit Union. Dr. Noyman has over 20 years of leadership and management skills in sales, corporate development, and financial services. He is the board member of the Mission City Community Fund and the Silicon Valley Education Foundation STEM Advisory Board Corporate Engagement Committee. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in economics from Virginia Commonwealth University. Today, he is going to talk about how to teach kids the habits for financial success and prosperity. Now let's welcome.
Thank you very much. My name is Doron Noyman, and I'm from Keypoint Credit Union. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Peng for inviting us and Dr. Cheng for inviting us today, and the CASPA board. Keypoint Credit Union is very happy to partner with CASPA and talk about a little bit about how to teach kids the habit of financial success and prosperity. It is very important for us to teach our kids, because if you look at our society today, a lot of the kids and a lot of people that graduate from high schools don't have the full scale of financial awareness. So I have over 20 years of experience in the financial industry. I specialize in banking, money, and the Federal Reserve. But also from my experience, I found out a lot how do we teach kids to become successful financially. I do have 2 boys, so I do have the experience with kids. And what I found out that you have to keep it very, very simple. So I'm going to go over today over a few items that I think that will help you and your kids to become financially successful. So I believe that everything we do to be successful, we need to create some habits. And habits is the key to become successful. If we want us to be successful piano players, we practice a lot. We practice every day. If we want to be a great student, we learn math every day, we read every day, create a habit. And habits are the keys for really being successful. And when you establish this habit on a daily basis, it stuck with you for life. And I can tell you because I have it as my experience. I came to this country about 25 years ago. And when I came, I had what I brought from my growing up, my habit that I learned. And my kids are first generation here in the United States. And what I found out that what I brought from home with me, the habits and the idea that my parents and my grandparents taught me, and I'm trying to teach to my kids, there are also a lot of factors that come from social factors that come in from the environment that we live in, and some pressures or some exposure to our kids to different ideas and so forth. So, but when you establish habits and you work with these habits, sometimes those pressures and some ideas go by the wayside, and you're really able to focus on what you do. So the first thing that I think that the most important habit that we establish is save on a daily basis. So you probably everyone heard about saving. But what really works for me, and I do it for years, and I do it since I was a kid, and I thank my grandfather for teaching me this, is saving on a daily basis. So I had a small box when I get my money, and another box, and on a daily basis, and you save it before you brush your teeth and you wash your face, you take money and you put in a box where you save. And it doesn't, when talking about savings, most people think that you have to put $100, $200 every time. No, it starts with maybe a penny. And when you're a little one, when my kids were little, they put a penny in this box on a daily basis. And they do it in the morning. And what happened, they don't forget about savings. So it's a basic to everything that I'm going to talk about today. So save on a daily basis is very, very important. And also for adults, yes, many times we get our pay, we put 401k, we put for our retirement, we put for savings. But on a daily basis, I still do it. I use online banking, and every morning I move from online banking amount of money that I started into one of my savings accounts. And it's very, very helpful for me because I'm aware every morning of I'm aware of my financial. I start the day with knowing what is my financial picture for the day, for the month, and so forth. So this is the first habit. The second habit is read and learn. And it's important to work with your kids on financial awareness. I found that a lot of parents and right forward working on, you want to learn your math, you want to learn your science, you want to learn your music, but they neglect the financial aspect. They don't want to talk with people about, the kids, about money. It is very important, as we told before, the parents' involvement is very, very crucial for the kids' success, be successful in their financials and their financial situation later in life. Read at least 10 minutes a day about personal finance. Now, I'm not saying that if you are 4 or 5 years old, you have to read 10 minutes a day, but the parents should read their kids' books about financial stories. I went to the library, the Santa Clara Library, and I actually counted the books that they have about financial awareness for kids, and they had over 200 books there about different stories. So you really get the kids to hear about some financial, how you save, how you share, how you spend, and so forth. So it's very, very important. Make it fun. Play financial games. Monopoly, the game of life. You can open the internet. There are a lot of games. Make it fun for the kids. Money doesn't have to be very, very serious. If you take it too serious, they don't want to hear about it. Make it fun. I played Monopoly many times when I was a kid. I play later the game of life, and you really learn about situations. You learn about making good decisions. And when kids do it, it's become a habit. As a child getting older, you want to make sure that they read more information. Now, I'm not saying that you're 10 years old and you're going to read about derivatives and how to trade foreign exchange. But what I'm talking about is really the basic things about financial awareness. What is checking account? What is savings account? What is the interest rate? Very basic terms. And I think it's very, very important. So we talk about saving the first thing on a daily basis. Learning. Now it's very important to learn the terminology. A lot of times, and when we talk about, I sit on a board for the Silicon Valley Education Foundation STEM initiative. We talk about why kids fail in biology, in math, in chemistry. It's because they really get scared from the whole terminology. So one of the things that we did is we put a summer camp or summer to our program, and all we teach terminology. So when they come and learn about this subject, they're familiar with the terminology. So when you talk about what is income, what is saving, what all the other terminology, the financial terminology, it's already familiar. So you teach them, but you read the stories and you read the terms, and it can be on a weekly basis, and you do it with them. Getting information doesn't cost anything. Sometimes I say people, well, why you didn't, the kids don't know, and I say, well, it's very expensive. I can tell you the best card that I have in my wallet, it's not my American Express, it's not any other, it's my library card. It's the best card I have. First of all, it's free, and you can have access to a lot of resources. You can download online, you can go to the library, and there's a wealth of information about financial literacy. So it's very, very important, and it doesn't cost you anything. Internet is a great resource. There are a lot of games, applications. You can download applications. If you have iPhone, iPad, iTouch, all the other devices, computer, there are great games there. We at Keypoint developed a very robust financial literacy program under keypointcu.com/education, and you can find resources for kids to learn about financial education. And you can go their actually website that put by Warren Buffett, the Warren Buffett company, about the Millionaire Club, and it's a great website. So there are a lot of other great websites that actually can help the kids and help you to work with the kids, learn about what they need to do to become successful later in life. Newspaper, magazines, again, we have a lot of newspaper, magazines, Money, Kiplinger, and for kids, a lot of articles. Just get them to read it and talk with them about it. So we talk about learning and reading and saving on a daily basis. Setting goals and budget. Setting goals and make it realistic. It's very, very important. A lot of people say, well, why should I set goals and my kids are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old? But it's important. The way you set goals for the way you set goals that I want to go to this college, I want to get A on these tests and how do I need to learn and so forth. It is important to make financial goals, to have financial goals. And make it very, very simple. When my little kids, I can tell you that I tell them you can save $1 a day or $10 or whatever they can, but they put into their savings. And I can tell you that my kids right now, and other kids that I know that I taught, they do it on a daily basis, and they tell me after a few years, it's amazing. Now I have a few $1,000s in my account. And it's amazing. Suddenly, I'm 16 years old, and I have, I collected all the money I get, I invested or so, and I'm 16 years old, and suddenly I have $50,000. Isn't it amazing? Think about it. You're 16 years old with $50,000 in the account. Now, many not have it, but I mean, if you have $10,000 and you're 16, and you create a habit and you learn what to do with this, because this will stay with you for life. It's not just when you're a kid, but when you get older. Budget. Budget is very, very important. It's crucial. You talk about budget. I can tell you that I meet a lot of people when I go around, and I tell people, do you have a budget? And they ask me, what is budget? Budget is not the rental car company. Budget is actually making a plan, right? It's making a plan to learn about what do you do with your money? It's very simple. There are a few terms that we learn: income, expense, spending, saving, and also sharing. What is budget? You put a plan, very simple. It doesn't have to be Excel spreadsheet with macros and all this. It can be very simple. You write it on paper, and they follow it. Create budget with your kids. If they have $10, you create a budget. How much you spend for this, how much you save, how much you share. Review the goals and budget with your kids on a weekly basis. Now, sometimes yes, we're busy, we don't review it on a weekly basis, but make sure you review it on a periodically. If it's not every week, it's other week. But you review with your kids. If you're involved with your kids in it, their chance of being financially successful later in life, you increase it by probably 50 to 100%. They'll be better than anyone else that didn't have all this. And you know what happened? It's funny because when you start, you don't have a budget, and you started doing it with your kid, guess what happened next? They're going to ask you, Daddy, do you have a budget? And you said, well, no, I don't. So you're forced to actually create a budget. So it is very, very important. It's very basic. Those things are very, very basic. And sometimes we skip or forget because we get busy, we do this, but this is very important to have the freedom. And when the kids learn this, I can tell you, when I go talk with student college, and it can be in Stanford, it can be in Berkeley, or any school, and I meet people, and I talk with them and I say, what is interest rate? And they look at me like, I'm not sure. They don't know. When they go later and they try to get a house or they try to do anything else, they're not aware of it. And they have a big cost for it because they will lose a lot of money through their life because they didn't do it when they were kids. So it's very important to get the parents involved, the kids, and do it. And to make sure that, again, they have it, it's a joint venture between the kids and the parents and the kids. And I have to show this one. So I think as more you give to your kids, and we know it, and I know it as the parents, the more you give for the kids, the better they will be. So it's very simple. Save on a daily basis, read on a daily basis, create budget, set the goals, and teach them. And talk about it. A lot of parents do not talk with their kids about financial matters. So it is important to teach them all this from a very young age. So one thing that we talked about before about how to give back to the community. One thing about when saving is also about sharing, giving back to the community. A portion of your money will go out to give back to the community, to charity and so forth. But also, one key point, we put together an ambassador program for a student. We have a big student promotion, we have a student account or student initiative. We're part of this becoming a key point ambassador. And part of this is learning about financial literacy, is learning about how to handle money. It's all of it is online. But also, when you do it, we will help you. Once you become Keypoint Ambassador, we will take you with us to some community events that we do as a company. We're very, very involved in our community. So we will help you to find these opportunities. If it's the Mission City Community Fund, that we're very involved, that support over 100 nonprofit organizations in the Bay Area. If it's any other organization, if it's SEMI, that we do some of the STEM initiative with, and you get involved with them, and it really helps you, again, when you go in the college application and so forth, to do all these things. So one of the things that we offer today is, when you open it, this is for 16 and over, when you open a student checking account, Keypoint will help you to start with $50. So this we do today. And also you'll be able to go into our ambassador program, and we have a yearly, twice a year, we have a scholarship that we do. It's a very easy process to get to our scholarship. You can find it online, there's information out there, but you can apply for scholarship. I think it's very important for us to know that we give back to the community, we give back to our members, and again, once you join the program, you're eligible for our scholarship program. And for more the little one, we do help them start their savings. With $25, we will deposit into their savings account till they start today. So I think for us, it's very important that people be aware of the financial education, and parents be very involved with the kids. So I can tell you this, that it's become a habit. Sometimes my wife said to me, what are you doing before even I wash my face? I do go and deposit money into my saving account every morning because I know it's very, very important. And my kids do it as well right now. And you know what? In the evening, I don't even ask them anymore. And if they miss one day, they will come and tell me, I missed putting a penny in my savings account. And I said, it's okay, it does happen once in a while. You know, I'm not such a strict that they have to do it every day. And it's something that if they don't do it every day, I will do. But it's the habit that they acquire. And it's very, very important. So again, thank you very much. We'll be here today. Thank you for CASPA, and thank you for the board and opportunity to be a sponsor of CASPA.